Hey everyone, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you the most amazing chess opening. It's an opening that can really surprise a lot of people. You can get some very interesting advantages in chess if you use this opening in a blitz or rapid game. For classical games, I don't recommend it as much because there are already a lot of theories and your opponent can spend more time and find the best defenses. But even so, you can still use it in a classical game, say if you know it well. So I'm going to show you now what the King's Gambit is like. With the King's Gambit, you'll get a lot of wins. You'll play aggressively, and you can't be afraid to go on the attack. Even when it seems like nothing is working out, when things aren't going your way, you have to keep pushing forward. So it's a game where sometimes you need to go after the win. You need to get a favorable result, and you go all in. All right? So let me show you how it works. You start with e4. Your opponent responds with e5. And now you play the King's Gambit, where you sacrifice this side pawn here to gain the initiative in the game. Okay? So the opponent responded in a passive way. Go, and I'm going to keep developing my pieces. Check this out. I'll keep developing my pieces in a way that lets me make quick moves and control this center here. This center here will be well secured, well established, while the opponent will be looking, because he spent a move, capturing this pawn here. Meanwhile, I gain time by developing my pieces. So you'll have to start attacking him nonstop, because you'll have extra time to attack, right? So let's go. The opponent plays the knight, castles, equal, and I'm all ready. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The queen is also aiming here. The bishop is coming over here too. Look at how many pieces I have, and he only has these 2 pieces. This bishop here is still blocked, right? So I have much more development, and I need to take advantage of this time. I have to attack him. And then he wastes even more time trying to take this central square just because I'm going to use it to recapture the pawn I gave up at the start. So look at this. I gave up that pawn, but I've already gotten it back, and I have complete control of the center. This is the King's Gambit. If your opponent doesn't make the best moves, you'll usually recover that pawn and you'll be way ahead in development. So for someone to play against the King's Gambit, they really need to know the best moves to make. It's not just about thinking, oh, I'm going to play a game, I'm going to make a move. They have to know the best moves to make, otherwise they'll quickly lose the advantage they gained with the pawn. So they make this move to try to take the center. I go back, capture that knight. They recapture, and I already place my bishop here, getting ready to attack their king. He develops this horse now that this horse comes here, right? And I still protect my central pawn because I need to control the center. He offers to trade my bishop, but I retreat because I want to use my bishop later to attack the king. Here, he makes a mistake because he allows my bishop, this bishop here, to get onto the rook's diagonal, and I'm going to put it there. Do it, and I'll take another horse. So look, I already have this piece attacking. I have my bishop, and I have this knight, and now I've placed it here. What does he do? He will try to stop as much as possible. When he makes this move, he said, I thought I had stopped you. But that's the best thing about the King's Gambit. In the King's Gambit, you never stop attacking. You need to keep going. If you make any passive move, anything that stops, like bringing the queen here, a move that isn't very aggressive, you're giving him the chance to regroup, to reorganize and come after you. So you can't stop. You have to keep being aggressive. Look at this move here, guys. You're breaking up his structure. It looks like your king is all exposed here, but you have more pieces in the attack, right? So you're going to have the advantage because you have more pieces attacking. So he didn't take here. He didn't take because he saw what was going to happen, that I would open up the whole position, and he played the queen here to prepare an attack. Just because this pawn here is falling, there's no way for his queen to come over here afterwards. See? He's going to be stuck with just that because my diagonal is controlled. He won't be able to launch any other attacks. So what do? I go and attack. I go and attack and try to break up his structure to go on the offensive so I can open up this rook's file. And he comes in and gives a check. The check is protected by the queen. I move over here. I moved here to get the king out of check. I'm not going to come here, right? Because here I'd even get checkmated, right? Oh, checkmate. If I bring the king here, it's checkmate. If I had brought him here and then he takes here, now this is the moment that's really incredible, because I need to keep attacking. I could capture like this with the bishop, but then he takes with the rook. Yeah, when you capture with the rook, you show why the king's gambit is so aggressive, because you've removed a defensive piece, you've taken away a defender, but you want this bishop coming here. The knight is protected by the bishop, and you want this bishop coming in here, and then the queen coming in here as well. So he captures, right? Of course, I also captured, and he places the queen here to prepare. But here, his queen has nothing to do. How is he going to get at my pieces? Everything is defended. Everything is protected. His rook can't come here because my queen controls that square. So what do? I know I'm safe, so I go on the offensive. I captured here, gave a check when he went to the right square, and I already brought in my other piece. I brought my other piece in here, and now all my pieces are in the attack, right? Only this rook isn't doing anything because it hasn't needed to join the game yet, but on the other hand, his rook isn't either. So I have two bishops in the attack, and he has this bishop that isn't doing much, this rook and this queen. Look at how many more pieces I have involved. That horse of his isn't doing anything. This rook is also practically doing nothing. So what do? He moved his rook here to try to checkmate, right? Then come here to deliver a checkmate. And what do? Now I have to try to make forced moves. When I brought my queen here, I already saw that I could make forced moves. There's a forced mate here. So the first thing I did was go here, although there was an even better checkmate, which would be bishop here. And then after the king captures, right? I would bring the queen in here, check, and then a knight checkmate here. But I couldn't see that at the time, so I gave a check here, and he moved. Then I saw the move, brought the knight back here, the king returned to that square, and now this move is sensational because you closed off this diagonal for him. If you do this here, his king would also get into a check net, but it would be more complicated because he could take EPT. Yeah, he would take here, I would check, then he would be able to escape, run over here. But by doing this here, you block off this square for him, and he only has one move to make, which is this. And now what do? I deliver checkmate. Look how cool that is. Now he only has this square to go to, and my queen is going to checkmate him. Look how cool that is, guys. There was also this checkmate here, right? With the bishop coming over here. And it was really cool. I wanted you to understand. So if you like the King's Gambit in this game, if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and I'll bring more explanations of aggressive openings for those who like aggressive openings. I'll also bring some positional opening. This type of opening is a tactical opening for those who know the patterns. This pattern back here, look, when you saw it, it's a tactical pattern. You should already be familiar with it. Look, here there's a checkmate net, and I'm going to have to sacrifice some piece to find it. So if you like this type of opening, give it a thumbs up. Let me know here what you want me to bring, and I'll bring more styles of tactical and aggressive games here on the Chess Total channel. All right, everyone. Thanks to everyone who watched. There are videos of strong players, and I'll bring more openings for you. And that's it. Thank you so much for sticking with me until now. And thanks